We've had so many key examples of why Nuki is just so monstrous, but again, beautiful. Flash comes in as well. First is there, a little bit of chip damage on the cross, but overwhelmed. Vitinho doing very well now, finding his follow-up towards Zeiss. And now problems are plenty for Karmine Corps. Already held back here. This retake is going to be difficult, to say the very least. 4 towards Pillar, essentially, and then 1 disconnected towards main, that being Hoodie. Giants can really dig their heels in here. Very hard to find favourable trades for Karmine Corps.
Yeah, a couple of health bars looking low, but it's going to take some heroics here from Karmine Corps. Time ticking away now, but finally get things started. Cloud will drop Shin. Scream down to 21 HP. Navera finds a response, but as I say, with a frenzy here, Scream struggling to do some damage, finally finding a headshot. Just 1 shot away. Yeah, the wallbang comes through. Nuki will seal the deal. Giants setting the precedent here in terms of pacing to open. Map 2 up on split. An awkward exchange.
Oh, glad we get to see it again.
Not sure if Vitinho was, how far away he was from actually getting out the left side of that fault line.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, conversion comes through for Giants on
Good
the board
start.
in the first half.
Yeah, happy enough with that. See if they can keep this clean. Again, we saw that Karmine Corps is very hard to kind of pin down.
Clock stopped.
Round 2?
Yeah.
Round 2's rotten. Like, come on. Should we recap the first round?
Let's go over things briefly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Quickly and briefly, or?
I mean, that's for Mitch, man.
True.
Alone.
We'll leave that on the desk.
We don't.
We don't do that here.
No.
So let's kind of expand a little on our expectations then when we look at this map in the very least. Now, at this point, Giants, I don't think they'll be overly enthused with their results on map 1, but a win's a win when you get them. You kind of put it where it's at. You're not going to reflect on it too much right now, but I'm sure there will be Pips and having a chat at some point about it. But coming into map 2, it kind of feels like this is, I'm not sure how comfortable this is in Karmine Corps' wheelhouse yet, because we've seen their capability to look really refined in some of their retakes, their utility and synergy work, but this map can be a little tricky to make that work on.
No, this was one that, like I said, started with a positive, right? And it was a 13-11 over BBL in week 1, opening week of VCT EMEA. Same week, they come back and drop it 13-2 to Team Heretics, and then Liquid also rolled them 13-2 on Split. They also have the 13-6 loss to Vitality in week 3, and then we didn't see Split again.
Yeah.
So even after the change with Zeiss coming in,
it hasn't appeared yet.
It hasn't appeared back, so whether or not this has been on the back burner in terms of Karmine Corps' prep, it's not one that certainly at face value you look at and go, yeah, feeling pretty good about that one overall.
Yeah.
The other side of things, yeah, it's not a positive map record for Giants either, at least much closer affairs across the regular season. Even with this change up in comp, usually opting for, obviously, that Astra and KO composition with the Viper to boot as well. We'll see how this looks a little different for Giants, if there's anything massively switched up again. Karmine Corps are going to lean towards the retakes. Not really expecting Giants to have to really show much in terms of site executes.
No, this, especially in this round, it can be highly simplistic. A couple of smokes towards Heaven, making Scream struggle to find connection. He's got XMS by his side, and it might be time to start applying that pressure back, see if he can cause a little bit of an issue. 2 flashes still for Cloud, though. So if he does feel that pressure coming in, he could counter it if he feels like it. But yeah, Pillar getting pressured, but still no commitment coming in. That's 3 towards Heaven now. You're looking for some very late exits here, but nothing really being presented.
I mean, feels like they just don't want to feed across any ultimate progress, to be honest. Happy to concede the weapons, which should he will find a backstab. Again,
jeez,
not really the ultimate you want to work an extra orb towards, but with 2 Spectres, 2 Bulldogs, and a Ghost carried through here, it's actually some good damage control on the side of Karmine Corps.
And hey, let's talk big picture here. We did discuss their ability to kind of play around the money system during regular season. It wasn't a particularly positive conversation, but I hope to see that becoming something that we almost forget, right? That their money management was atrocious during regular season. Now, We'll see if that does become a factor. We haven't really seen it rear back in yet. We haven't seen those, like...
No, there's been a couple of things.
Spies,
I did see something just flash up there. XMS toying with the idea of a Guardian, but he's on a judge now for the full purchase. Not in male, over towards A main. So we'll see if that is an issue for Karmine Corps in terms of this setup. Very loose hold towards Heaven as well. Scream looking to get very proactive on the back of that paint shell. A little bit of damage done towards Hoodie. Shield removed, down to 79 HP, but Cloud will re-clear with the Trailblazer.
Doesn't get particularly much deep info, though, really. Just kind of clearing through.
A deterrent, if anything.
That's pretty much it. The Spy's still pretty deadly. I mean, they've got the Bulldogs there. A couple of Spectres coming out. It's not huge. But it's Nookie and Fitinho, my eyes drift towards Cloud, obviously, in that conversation, too. And the triple stack towards Maelstrom, Shin, Scream. And Nuvera up there as well, so they've given up B-main control. And Fitinho's one out on the first, but Scream finally doubles down with Nuvera and actually controls towards Heaven this time. Now, while this happened, they did put all their eggs towards that Heaven basket.
Problem being, though, Rhyme and Hoodie actually the last two members alive with Spectres, so a huge advantage for Karmine Corps here in terms of the weaponry. Trailblazer will spot out the first, and I don't think Hoodie's noted, but the awareness is there from Zaysh. Just falling short.
That's a rifle.
Hoodie, 1 HP. Yeah. You have to dip away and hold on to this one. A little bit of an upgrade to carry across into the next. And happy to concede 3 rifles kept online here for Karmine Corps. And a round win nonetheless.
Yeah, all of that importance brought down towards Maelstrom, dealing with that split quite nicely. Nuvera able to make the most of that, finding the follow-up. The buyback in could leave them wanting here. Seeing what Shin can get through. 2 point. Yeah, he's able to. Okay, so dropped out in the end, so he gets the full purchase that he wants. On the other side, they've been able to at least keep that rifle in Hoodie's hands. The rest can buy around it.
That's the key thing as well. XMS off that judge as well. So rifles across the board.
Okay.
A real ultimate progress other than Nuvera 1 off the neural theft on the side of Karmine Corps. 3 off the showstopper for Fitinho. 2 for a Rolling Thunder on the sides of Giants.
Worried it's a little repetitive here for Scream.
Yeah, tucked into a fairly committed position, but looks like we've got a fault line set up off the camera. Much deeper this time around. Trying to catch that combo off the utility.
Almost.
Force Fitinho to burn up both satchels, so maybe taking a little bit of burst away from a sight hit. Really got the TP of Hoodie. Try and create some space in terms of movement abilities left here, and the audible has been called. So Giants have their sights set towards A.
It's only Zaysh, though.
When's the flash coming back up here for... Oh, well, he's going to get a big indicator here.
He's still 13 seconds off his. He's got to really slip back here. If he shoulders up too much, he's dead. Yeah, that...
He peeks on to deal with the Trailblazer that's going to get caught in the trap anyway.
Felt a little unnecessary to my mind, but... At this point, the site's theirs. It was theirs for a long time.
30 seconds left.
Zaysh could have backpedaled away and maybe waited for more. It's a little safe towards CT, but as it stands, Karmine Corps going to have their work cut out, trying to work their way back in towards this Heaven. The first point of contest. Cloud waiting with a flash to hand. That could catch both. Yeah, that follow-up. Oh, what?
Nuvera turned both of them?
Whipping away from that is obscene. Needs some pressure start mounted elsewhere on the map, though. Nookie gonna get aggressive, find XMS. Scream on the trade out, though. Looking towards Pillar, they hold the line. Hoodie still gonna make it difficult. Shin does slip through, and he does do damage, getting Rhyme down. Now a 2v2. Time begins to dwindle, you can hear the clock. Shin trying to pin down, 1 does get it. 5 bullets to play with, a Nookie on 22 HP. He wants half a Nookie. Plays the time to perfection.
Beautiful round. Karmine Corps, like I said, talked about their strength in the retakes. It's not often actually you see anybody overstep the mark and conceding a first blood ahead of a sight hit coming through. I mean, Zaysh isn't even really shouldering an angle. He's standing way out to the left of the box. Shin nearly getting it done, but Nookie threads the needle, finds the headshot. Seals the deal on Giants' 3rd round. Hero rifle out for Scream. A couple of Sheriffs to reinforce this, but looking for Karmine Corps to maybe slow things down just a little bit. A big win out in terms of the early rounds with that set piece off the fault line in the nade.
They're begging for someone to be spotted walking mid. You can see the setup, right? It's like they're so desperate to try and put Scream's rifle to good use.
I think this is just another trap play set up for the nade, to be honest with you, off the cam. Giants have got other ideas.
He's already forced away as well. Giants going through the protocol list very diligently, taking no risk towards middle, not playing any sort of angles that might work out for Karmine Corps. Not going to go in.
Spike planted.
Held away. This is now where it gets incredibly difficult. Can they make this even trickier? Cloud going to do well. That doesn't find anyone, surprisingly, but Rhyme does. Now they're starting to lose out in numbers. Nevera can pick up the rifle, but sticks towards the Sheriff. Gets away with his life. Doing damage towards Cloud, but the other 4 players, yes, wounded, but still standing.
Rhyme down to 15. Fatinho at 54. Certainly doable here for Karmine Corps to at least find some damage.
See the bait attempt with the classic on the flash, but still, Rhyme, even with 15, handles it so diligently. Nevera needs to back away, keep that rifle in hand. Giants are looking comfortable here, Mike.
Again, a gap left open here with that set piece towards mid. A very deep trip. Look at the utility use. I don't know if that trap towards stairs is actually adjusted here. Didn't spot it at the start of the round, at least. But yeah, the intention very different here from Karmine Corps, and not necessarily working out for them just yet.
Now, I wonder if we're going to get a timeout from them potentially now, or we'll wait and see what they go for. Again, haven't had that full buy back in hand. Let's see what they go in with. Might still feel as though they've got a good approach here. No ult really hitting just yet. I mean, yeah, Nookies isn't a million miles away, but not particularly one that's going to game change much. Cloud 2 off. Scream 2 away. Sage 2 away, and Shin very close by. So a couple of opportunities for Karmine Corps, even in this round, to get that online. And going back to this mid-presence now for Giants.
And looking as if actually there's a retake set up towards A here. Maybe even some kill trips for Nevera and Shin to capitalize off. The stun actually reached all the way in here, but nothing behind it.
Oh, this is a patient round, isn't it?
Yeah, very much. I was just waiting to see if actually Karmine Corps are happy to concede this space and they've got a plan to recover it, but it looks like they're willing to just absorb this hit towards heaven.
This is quite risky. Scream's going to re-challenge. Post
late on the nade, though.
Shell,
the fault line came through.
They're on the way. 2 players are here. Nevera is not alone here. Got Shin by his side, but they're in danger. And it's just a reckless swing almost. Forcing the hand, yes, but Giants have completely free access. The cross, not safe just yet. The paranoia connected towards 1, so they get to slip through. And the ult's going to reveal information. So everything's noted now. There's a congregation towards CT.
Rhyme set up here with the fault line. Could do massive damage, but it looks like Karmine Corps considering holding on to these rifles here unless they get a big win out. The site completely locked off here. Just out of arm's reach. And it's beautiful awareness from Giants. You can see they're baiting out, waiting to see where this trap play off the fault line and the paint shell is set up. And immediately on the back of that, they make a decision. They collapse towards A heaven. At that point, they haven't burnt up any utilities. So they have flashes, they have a paint shell to force Nevera out into an uncomfortable situation. Yeah. Really well executed by Giants. A beautifully called round here.
Yeah, their mid-routing so far has been pretty much on the money. Anytime that we've seen kind of Karmine Corps trying to set up anything, it's been felt out by Giants pretty quickly, and now here's that timeout. Maybe this is the time to address it, but what are you meant to do now? What is the counterplay to this? Is it aggressive?
This is where you're asking if the awareness is there in-game, and obviously for PM to identify as well, whether or not they're reading this correctly, because a couple of rounds now, Giants have been like, okay, cool, they're playing towards traps off the camera and the fault line. Fault lines come through, there's the stopping power gun, we can send 5 into a choke point, strengthen numbers, overwhelm the 2-man, potentially even 3-man held site.
Backs, yeah.
And things work out for them. So yeah, beautifully constructed rounds here from Giants. Not necessarily the flashiest, it's a very, very cautious approach, but it's getting the job done because Karmine Corps are heavily reliant on finding value from these setups.
Yeah, this is far from the high-octane Valorant, right? This isn't map 1 where we're seeing these kind of explosive plays. This is very much a very different style. And this is when we ask the question of depth towards Karmine Corps, as you noted. One, can they identify what is actually going on here? Because you feel very red, but be able to identify exactly what that niche problem is will take some work, so we have to wait and see if that's a factor. Secondary to that, do they have the capability to adapt? Do they have other looks? How far into their actual map pool of what they want is this map? Because we don't know the depths of their map pool yet, especially after the rebuild, especially after this new look they've come out with.
We never do that from the season as well. It was playing into some things that, quite frankly, looked awful time and time again with very little changes, I guess a lack of innovation in terms of re-looking at their map pool. Sounds a little bit pacier coming out of the timeout.
Feeling no presence early on, though. Again, deeper hold. Nevera playing over towards kind of the side of pillar. It's Scream playing back here. They've dealt with a little bit of the util, not a great deal.
Fault line and nade drawn out once again. No value off the back of it. Giants, they look to collapse on the back of that now.
And Scream forced away. Into the side we go. This time, Nevera is there, though. Holds them back, and he's got support from Shin, who gets outdone. Rhyme's looking a little nasty today. So Nevera on red alert. He needs some assistance here. He's going to get it. Flash comes in, forces away. Rhyme connects again. Rhyme all day long. 3 huge kills. He's got his ult ready if he fancies it. 2v2, not easy by any means. And Hoodie's so aware that XMS would have wanted to try and slip a little closer and maybe overkill. Maybe just a kill nonetheless. Zysh is screwed up here. Actually gets away with this one. Did he spot the barrel?
I don't think he did.
Spike planted.
Looked like it could have been visible there, but Zysh, I don't know how much room he's got to work with on this.
Good to have heard that drop, though, hopefully. Does have a flash to play with. The Giants members split up here. Ryan won't have an open angle onto this.
Second flash back up in just a second. If he gets his kill quickly enough, spots out Rhyme. He's got another. He's got the Seekers. He's got the full kit and caboodle, basically.
Found one.
Doesn't choose to close the gap as quickly as I expected. Rhyme noted on the jump peak, chased down by the flash, doesn't catch on the corner. Rhyme back around pillar. This has been an exceptional round from Rhyme. But can he keep doing this? Can he keep standing? No, he can't.
Big clutch from Zysh as well to come back into this, winning out a 1v2. Punishing Scream looked very puzzled by what had gone on there at the point at which Karmine Corps opted to commit to that engagement. I'm not even sure actually what the confusion was, and Nevera's done fantastic to find 2 there. Flash as well, perfect bait with the TP from Hoodie.
One enemy remaining.
Almost thought there, Zacian overcooked it a little bit with the swing. Very wide on that, because opportunity to isolate the individual. Now, PM.
He's going through it.
Thanking his lucky stars.
Yeah,
it's a second for Karmine Corps. Still lots of work left to do in this half, though.
Scream alone towards middle this time. Doesn't have his supporting act here.
Doesn't have satchels, doesn't have a boombot either, but Showstopper available.
And Scream with a rifle is always just as deadly. They've crept very close towards middle, though. There's 3 players on the other side of that smoke. Haven't quite gone through yet. He's got a little help. Now he's called in Shin. Who's going to deal with the dog? Unnecessary for now as they slip through towards the vent and maybe looking again to insinuate that A crunch potentially, but...
That's what Scream was initially reading there. Reposition over towards Hell. Does have the fault line. This could be huge for Scream. The setup is there. There's no confirmation of presence just yet. Maybe off the back of this trip being dealt with.
Fortunately. Yeah, they felt it out again, Giants. Are just working this out so well, feeling out these little bit of traps, but still.
And there's the explosion on the back of that.
It's perfect. Nevera can't slow this down enough. He has to fall away. Giants now start to flood the site. They already have the TP there. They know it's safe. Already had Hoodie clear this through, so the plant comes in perfectly. And once again, Giants are running rings around Karmine Corps now. We complimented those retakes before, but do they have it?
Rolling Thunder here.
Ready this time?
It's not going to catch much, because the emphasis is towards ramp and heaven for Giants.
This is so precarious. No, I've said Shin actually might catch nothing with this. At most, maybe Fatinho. I think he sidestepped it. Does go into the crosshair of Scream, but it's going to be Cloud and Rhyme in quick succession to take down 2. Karmine Corps are answering back, but can they break that back line? Nookie and Hoodie, paranoia ready, sends it on the tap, and now it's just XMS. Looking confounded, looking absolutely baffled as to what to do. He can't stick this any longer. Giants are absolutely, categorically outplaying Karmine Corps here.
Absolutely, they have their finger on the pulse in terms of reading Karmine Corps' approach here. And it's, again, not necessarily out of the wheelhouse, but a different approach in terms of the ethos to how to defend split. Not finding anything from these setups whatsoever. I was asking if there was going to be a switch up coming out of the timeout. We haven't necessarily seen an example of that just yet. Shiko coming through here for Karmine Corps. And Giants looking to slow things down a little bit now.
Yeah, you don't go walk into a stack or any silliness coming out. So why not take a couple seconds extra? Chip damage, yes, but not exactly something that you're going to be depending upon later just yet. So steady work coming through. It's going to be Fatinho taking the space up towards heaven. Yeah, they've explored the rest of that, but again, Sheriffs, bits and bobs. It's not enough of a buy to really depend upon here. Cleared through by Pillar from the paint shell. First committed fight potentially to be had will be on Nookie here. Flanks on the way, but there's still a setup in place. It's not like they have freedom of access to this, Mike.
That was a trip here to deal with, and Nookie still not feeling an awful lot of pressure. Does still have the spy cam, but as soon as this is dealt with, he's probably going to turn his eyes towards the spawn. Rhyme just slipping away, but we'll hear the TP for sure.
Oh.
For sure.
For sure. Just find Nookie and then it's game on. Now the others become unlocked, become activated in this. Rhyme now needs to be careful. Doesn't need the flash. Perfect work. Slips away. This guy is having a really nice series so far. Again, though, any more to be had here. Scream's in a lot of trouble. Can't correct in time. Now just Navera and Giants. 4 standing. This is clean.
Yeah.
And again, this isn't one you scream and shout about. This is all kind of done with the reading of the play. Karmine Corps do not have anything here.
It's very vanilla, and I think a byproduct of that is seeing how much utility is available in the post-farm for Giants. Yes, here it's a Shiko from Karmine Corps, but even in the previous... That was snappy.
That was really nice.
But yeah, there's been a number of examples where, like I said, they're dry hitting mid. They're not having to invest any utility. Maybe the Trailblazer coming out of Cloud, but that's about it. They still have paranoias, they still have paint shells, they still have the fault line, both flashes, everything set up for when they actually react off this utility from Karmine Corps. And even then, I guess the further issue of that maybe in some examples of that being exacerbated is where they don't even have to use it to hit a site. They get in clean, they find a plant. They have so many tools to slow Karmine Corps down.
Seeing nothing in middle here. Might have caught a glimpse of Rhyme potentially. I'm not sure. Don't seem like they're all too heads up about it. So once again, the challenge towards that mailroom. Scream gets a fair fight, wins it. Shuts down Cloud, but the follow-up could be there soon. Gets put in the corner. Zeich wants to try and support him. The paranoia is there. Fatinho clears Scream. Looks to walk further forward. Lovely flash, but a better support system. Tell a lie. He actually fell. I thought Rhyme had that all day long. Zeich, yep, there we go. Finally Core here, but trying to brawl out on this. The pinch coming in through main now. XMS rocking a hard place. Looks to the right, he's got Hoodie. Looks to the left, he's got 2 more. Nowhere to rescind back to. Even Fatinho with a chance to plant.
And even though I was just mentioning it there, this is the first time we've actually seen commitment of utility. And look how precise it is. A beautiful paranoia to set things in motion up towards heaven. Karmine Corps unable to recover Scream from that position, and Zeiss just taking too much damage. Navera and Shin now left to try and recover this. Navera good for the first, but Nookie unchecked.
And with Fatinho popping this, it buys you at bare minimum a couple more seconds, right? He's still got the paint shell as well if he wants to add that in. There's nothing more to be done for Shin. It's time to run away. This has been, honestly, this is a coach's dream. If you are Pipson right now, you are grinning, right? Like, well, Pipson would never grin, obviously.
Yeah,
but
he's definitely not smiling.
No, there's no smiles here. But for Giants, this is a very clear-cut affair. They've been able to tame Karmine Corps. They've been able to deny all of their wants, all of the kind of trying to get under the skin, trying to play those little trap setups. None of it's found validity. The explosive, aggressive plays are being handled early on. It feels like Karmine Corps do not have options, and it feels so smothering to play against.
I didn't even spot that, actually, on the Trailblazer. I don't think there's confirmation of anybody in Sushi.
I don't think it's spotted close enough.
Yeah, I'd love to take another look at it. Even, I've never asked for a slow-mo Trailblazer, but
You'd be lucky.
I'd really like to see one.
Well, it's too late. It's too late. Stop it.
But yeah, that's a key indicator as well that's missed. Luckily, I don't think there's any over-rotation on the back of that, but we were noting maybe being ready for that crunch. Oh, there's a bit of a switch up here. What is it? It's a triddle.
Yes, it is.
A triddle walk. No trips here, actually. Nuki's making his way across.
Do you think Nuki just gets the maddest timing on this?
Yeah, Nuki backstabs this. Oh, when do they hear him? Do they hear him?
Do they?
Nobody's looking this way.
Apparently not.
Nobody's pinging, nobody's looking.
Of course he's done this. Oh. Okay, well, that was a nice shot.
Clothesline by Nevera, but the damage is already done.
Yeah, they're left just down to 2. So Nevera, yes, has a rifle now. Shin does have one, but Scream can't get it. So how do they find that entry to the side? Trying to maybe force their way in here? Not going to happen.
Still hits that headshot, by the way. Disrupted by the satchel.
Is this time to walk away? Yeah, save again.
Even there, just saw on the minimap, Paranoia still available, Paint Shell available here for Fatinho. This is the sort of example I was just talking about. This will be the 9th here for Giants, some consolations for Shin.
Yep.
Get him any closer to the ultimate. Still 4 left to find here.
In the half.
But a clinical affair. I mean, don't write them off just yet. 9-3 on the first map as well. Karmine Corps able to build back into the second, but
it's how
this is very different.
It just feels like a team who's very comfortable on this map and one that doesn't quite have that depth.
I say he was actually thrown off by the satchel there. It was a great attempt from Scream to throw that crosshair placement off. Still lands the 1-tap.
Double up. Double up. Huh. Huh. Fatinho and Cloud.
It's just a curveball round for Giants, waiting for
an operator on the attacking side on this map already makes me question mark it. Seeing 2, I was like, I think they're doing all right for money. Got quite a few credits built up.
They're just waiting for a peek, and they're going to get it. Scream will fall.
Ugh. It almost makes my skin crawl, because you've had these games, everyone's felt how oppressive these games can be. And again, still policing the weapon, not leaving anything to chance. There's no freebies to be had. And again, they
same attempt at the triddle, but this time there's only 2 left standing. And the trip here this time around, Nuki's in the same spot again to greet it. This time around.
There we go. It's a 4v4. This is the best round we've had yet, right? They've got a bit of a crunch going on. They've got the Seekers coming out, but Cloud wants some space back.
Cloud didn't see him. The rifle stuck out into the smoke.
No one saw each other. Cloud turns around, but the massacre's happened. Nevera from up above. Oh, and Cloud answers back, finding 2 of his own, the 3rd on the round, leaving it all in XMS's hands.
He's got to try another stick. The best bet here in this situation. Going to tap on. Fatinho still with a paint shell. We'll deny that.
Oh, this is feeling so uphill. He's desperate to make it work. Forced off it again. XMS. There was no way out of that. It's 10. It's clean. Giants absolutely outplaying Karmine Corps on this half.
Suffocating them, giving them absolutely no room for maneuver on this defensive half of Split. There's very few positives really for Karmine Corps. This is such a well-executed half of Valorant from Giants.
Truly.
Again, that's not even really to throw shade at Karmine Corps. Their approach here, there's been a couple of really robust set pieces that Giants are able to navigate their way through, mitigate any sort of damage on that. And like I said, in terms of the utility game, have won out massively.
Yeah, I think this is what the original discussion at the start of the day was with us when we were kind of talking about depth and capability to adjust on the fly and how far into their process did Karmine Corps get to. It does look like they have an approach here, right? They have an idea, they have a concept, but Giants simply outplaying them. It's one of those perfect counters. The way they're approaching this has everything wrapped up.
And the other thing as well is Karmine Corps haven't been able to execute what has felt like a cornerstone of this refreshed Karmine Corps, right? How many times did we see a full 5v5 retake?
Yeah. It's when?
Yeah.
There was always that first pick. There was always that entry. There was always so much utility late rounds.
I was going to say, and even when we did, there were so many tools for Giants to stop them in their tracks. Hold them at choke points, towards screens, up towards heaven. So many different things that Karmine Corps just unable to overcome.
Yeah, the heater of a game from a couple of players, but it's not just an individual effort, really, from Giants. Because as I said, sometimes you get those really explosive games where, like, everything's lining up perfectly, someone's popping off, it feels great. It wasn't even that. This is a very robust half from Giants.
Firing on all cylinders, obviously. Ryan stepping up to the plate here in map 2 as well.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Really. Cloud as well, put his name right up there with him. I mean, we saw everyone having their individual moment, but this needs to start from that first round in the second half here for Karmine Corps if they want to even have a chance to. Seeing their form so far, I'm not going to completely write it off, right? I'm not going to be that person.
Sure. When you see a comeback in map 1,
hey,
there's room to dream.
But it does feel like a bit of a dream
It does, a very distant dream.
Yeah, I think we're just seeing that little bit of a differential here. Again, this step up from Karmine Corps still has to be noted, still has to be remembered. Giants were a team that finished kind of mid-positive table. They were up towards the top end of things. They were a very, very solid team, pushed on the big dogs out there.
One that we still wanted more from, that we felt as if they didn't hit their ceiling as well. So, like I said earlier, a testament to the talent on this Giants roster. It's looking very clean right now on split. Early flash out of mid. I think actually even dealing with the camera. Karmine Corps looking to re-clear this space now.
Rhyme's been on a
he's
heater.
Gotta be careful though, because they're creeping closer and closer.
How's he alive? Okay, he does go down there. I thought he'd Ooh, speaking of, Scream is still standing. It's gonna be messy here. Bit of a brawl. And it's Hoodie to collect towards Shin. Navera on the trade out, so they win towards B main, but they didn't get that clean entry through towards Heaven.
No, Navera and Scream down at 13 and 17 HP. XMS as well. We'll find Nookie tucked into vents there.
It's back down to a 3v3.
Yeah.
And, it felt
a
like
massive HP advantage for Giants as well. So if they stack up here, I mean, even if they commit towards just a death ball retake, you got to argue they should win out in raw gunfights alone. 3 ghosts in the hands of actually both teams.
Okay, so I want to say they get the plant, but the Giants are pretty close by here. Scream.
A little disconnected.
Yeah, going to be left towards ramp. 2 on towards the site, and they creep closer. Zeish falls. This is where it all looks like it's going terribly wrong. Navera given a second lease of life, though, 13 HP. Can it be lucky for him? Cloud, yes, lower. Oh, he needs to be so sharp with it. What an attempt. Not quite good enough to get past Nookie, though. And it's going to be 11 very quickly here.
So that's the sort of situation where those HP bars really do come into play. And even here, you can't really argue with Scream, obviously looking to disconnect from that. Maybe backstab somebody on the rotation coming back through Heaven, but just doesn't happen. Way too much damage done in the early rounds.
Enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Again, the plant not being safe for Heaven as well. Scream has to make a move. He can't play that late.
Nope. Well, it looks like it's do or die time, doesn't it?
Yes. Karmine Corps throw some investment into this one. A Bulldog actually on the cards here for Navera.
He did have a big round. I mean, he made something out of nothing. Vitinho holding here towards Heaven.
There.
He's the one who's going to feel the brunt of this, but he's got support there. There's 2 other players. Hoodie down below. 1 tucked towards CT2. Simplistic enough approach, but Scream the one to try and take that space away, following the paranoia.
Lots of space cleared.
Hoodie now needs to be careful. Yeah, ooh, he's not sure what to do here, but he gets the perfect timing. Rhyme the one to find XMS in unison. Scream trying to do the damage from up on top, but it's Vitinho to find! And the follow-up as well. Oh, and it's going from bad to worse for Karmine Corps as Giants strangle them over towards ramp.
Zay stuck between a rock and a hard place as well.
Hand firmly on the throat here. Zeish, desperate for someone to have a little look. Desperate for someone to get curious. Oh, this is rough. Hoodie, yeah, angles there. Giants, that's 12 very quickly.
Feels like the nail in the coffin
Yep.
for Karmine Corps, unfortunately.
step up
left,
here.
yeah, not much left to say. Like I said, we
Yeah.
talked about the deficit being huge to overcome in the first map. I mean, you can almost double that here. Unfortunately, feels as if Karmine Corps, again, just played out this one, to be honest. We talked about basically being a stuck defuse away from maybe closing out Pearl, obviously dropping
That's
that one round there.
just what I was looking at. Because
that could have been a difference maker.
I mean, we talk about this, right? This map for Giants was their pick, and it was absolutely beautiful for them. Beautiful choice, perfect. Couldn't have asked for anything better. Now, if Pearl had gone Karmine Corps' way and it was a close game, it would have unlocked the third, which would have been Lotus, and then suddenly, what a different game we could have had. And that's the heartbreaking factor. It's not even on this map in my mind, it was on map 1. Them dropping the ball just at the last second, getting so close, but yet unable to convert that final one. That was enough. That's enough to put you there. And now this map, it's not looking pretty by them.
No, it feels like just the 13-2 curse lives on as well.
Oh.
Regardless of what iteration or what stage we're at with Karmine Corps.
Yeah.
The inevitable on the cards here.
And for Giants, keeping up to that reputation, being one of the stronger teams here, the one that we've always wanted more from. We've been waiting to see them at full potential, and I don't think we've even seen... Oh.
We were so close.
Sure, I think next...
We're so close.
Next time, right? I think this is how we get production and everyone to make sure we don't get tech timeouts. Is we're going to start doing audience interviews. Every time there's a tech timeout, we're going to get out there.
Yeah,
we're going to get a microphone
like
and just
that.
pass it around.
I like that.
Yeah, have a chat. Production team's really on board with that idea. So we'll have a little chat with the audience at some point. Not now. We can't come out.
I'm seeing no volunteers.
Which is exactly what I want. That is exactly, I want
Yeah.
no one to be excited for it. But I have heard that we are past the tech pause now.
Even Kakuka's left. She was watching earlier.
Yeah, Kakuka's out. She's like, nah, I don't.
She thought better of it.
I think we've got a volunteer down there. An anonymous fan, it seems. Huh. 12-2, though. It feels like a formality, but let's find out. Is there any life left in Karmine Corps? Feels like that heartbreak from map 1 weighing heavy here.
Coming to this as well, 2 Spectres, the Bulldog, and 2 Sheriffs to round things out. That investment in the previous XMS will be noted.
Oh, XMS.
Of course, that was a ton of utility, and Ryan finds the kill.
There's no escaping it, is there? Ryan wants to double down, go behind it, but actually Scream able to play his life out here. Not going to give up just yet for Tino. Trying to puff up the chest, hold him back by a ramp. But look at the space Nevera has found. Do they try and peel away from this? Do they have the time to do so? I think you've got to try and make it count now. How deep can Nevera go?
I was going to say, you can already see, though, look at Vitinho. He's exploring towards spawn. They've read this perfectly, that there has been a lurking effect. And 2 walking middle here. They've got to be careful, though, of the Suez angle. Hoodie aware of it, though.
You wouldn't dare flash, would you, if it's actually want to try and keep this unknown? So it's going to be just the gunfight to hand, and he's going to lose it. Hoodie wins, and now the problems start to get even worse, compounding until then. Nevera, fantastic work from him, still finding value, controlling the space. Scream pushed off the angle and opening up a chance. They could dive down, and they are right into the heat of it. Hoodie straight up on the challenge. Scream and Shin, the last 2 standing, and Hoodie's taking down one of them. All on Shin now, a 1v3, and he's trying his damnedest here. Looking now, the 1v1 for him. Does he close or do he do this again? Shin's gonna hold on.
Denying the curse, Lauren. At the last moment. Again, can they springboard off that, though? It's a huge gap to fill. Giants will come back in, obviously forcing the purchase in the previous. They'll be able to string together 4 rifles. And even here, the read is perfect from Giants. Patino anticipating a lurk is in effect and sending 2 down middle proactively. That awareness, we noted it in that round on Pearl as well.
Blinded.
And it being demonstrated once again.
Bat flash connecting.
Yeah.
Noting these players posted up towards ramp. Patino getting very close by here. Are they going to go for a bit of a brawl on this? It looks like they might do. At least try and find some information on it. Camera handled, and they rescind away. Fall a little deeper. See the temptation from Patino, though. He wants to stick around a little longer. The boombot is going to confirm that someone is trying to get close towards the site. It's going to be Scream. Tries to get ahead. Trying to cross towards the site here. Couple of
Great
challenges
utility.
on the way, but they've made it through. Yeah.
really good utility usage. An open plant as well. That's how much pressure has been applied as part of this execute. A full 5v5. We were asking for it in the first half, but in the post plant here, Giants, what can they get done in the retake?
Paranoia saying they're going to prioritize trying to clear through towards ramp. That's the first challenge. Zayt's going to do well to work off that. Gets the reveal towards Cloud, but he will trade his life for it. Very telling, though. This then plays in Scream. How much challenge does he get? Does he get a test? Yes. Turns a flash, comes back. Only going to find one. Blow for blow so far. Drawing blood on both sides. XMS clean enough, but now down to just one, and Rhyme's going to fall. Another round. Another chance.
Could argue there needs to be a couple more of those for the wind to be in their sails, but at least we'll force Giants down to, well, at least apply a little bit of pressure in terms of the finances early on. And how far down the rabbit hole can Karmine Corps go? 8 rounds separate them now.
When you are trolling.
Pipson, I
Being
guess
Pipson.
under the impression that Giants are trolling with a 12-4 lead.
Welcome. When we're like, Pipson's going to have a chat, you can see what we mean now. He's a...
Scream.
Oh, he's
That's
hungry
beautiful.
for it. He wants a bit more. What a shot. And a chance for Hootie. The Paranoia did connect very well, but he's being forced away here. That pain shell actually might catch just a little on the way out. No, it doesn't. Chance for Rhyme. Good shot connecting. Flash going down. But again, to find...
They just send it here with the Rolling Thunder. 2
Just
HP on
go in.
Hoodie though, yeah. And only Sheriff's in hand. No, not able to retrieve those weapons.
One enemy remaining.
Confidence builders there for XMS.
Yeah.
A quiet half from him, or actually a quiet map here for him, but it's starting to build in a little.
Another great example on this execute of some brilliant utility usage on the side of Karmine Corps. Scream blowing that round
again.
wide open.
I lied, we didn't see it again.
And now with the
Lights
loss
back.
bonus in effect, and Giants now basically on the brink of a full house in terms of the ultimates.
Get past this and we'll open up the discussion. Get past this.
But I'm looking
one
towards
round.
8 or 9 rounds for Karmine Corps though before you
Yeah.
really entertain the possibility, because Giants are on the brink of a snowball round where they have everything at their disposal.
Giants going to prioritize a little bit of a look towards middle, right? 3 players going to be keeping note of that, leaving a lot in the hands of Hoodie. An explosive piece from Scream going to try and get towards back pillar, clears it out, going to signify the way is clear. Time to cross on through, get that spike down, and get the time on your side.
Again, the showstopper could be their demise ultimately though, because it's a similar situation to the first half. Nothing burnt up in terms of the Giants' inventory. They have everything to throw at this retake.
Okay, Seeker's going to note there's no kind of backstab coming in, so that does unlock Navera to go for a bit of a walk. Giants starting to get a little bit close to this. 3 held up in heaven.
The flash didn't catch it mid either.
There's that ult, though. Posting on through. Scream still unaffected, doing just fine, but now he's in the middle of no man's land, but he's standing tall. Knows Fatino's around, but he can't control it. And now the site under scrutiny, under pressure. XMS down low, 7 HP, but not cleared, and given a chance. Hoodie on the trade out, but time beginning to tick. Can they control this in time? The defuse is going. It's halfway there now. I don't think they can stop this. Shit's fallen, and Giants get across the final hurdle. 5 found for Karmine Corps, and that's all she wrote.
The moment there where you start believing again for Karmine Corps, but Giants demonstrated what felt like, in terms of the game plan, in terms of the macro, a flawless demonstration here on Split. In terms of their understanding of what Karmine Corps wanted to achieve and the ways to navigate through that with very